Welcome to Hello Darling. Today my very special guest is Anthony Mundine. Anthony Mundine is a celebrated Australian champion boxer and international public figure. He held the World Boxing Association Super Middleweight Champion title twice between 2003 and 2008. However, his achievements extend well beyond the boxing ring. Anthony is dedicated to giving back to the community and being a role model for others. Today, I'm talking to Anthony about his life, career, and vision for the future. Hello, darling. Welcome to the show.
Hello, darling. Very happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. What an honor. Anthony, first of all, welcome to Perth, and congratulations on your latest win.
Yeah.
You have been nominated in Momentum Most Inspiring Man of the Year 2022. How does it feel?
Feels good to know that you're getting a bit of credit for sort of all the work you'd put in to giving back to the community, giving back to people, and especially the youth that's coming up and had a point in their life where not sure where they want to go, and I try to give them that inspiration, that motivation to make that right choice. I'm
going to read the criteria for Most Inspiring Man of the Year, just to remind our viewers who you are, why you are. So the award recognizes a man who has excelled in the chosen field of work, one who continues to persevere despite setbacks and hardships. So my question is, how are you making a difference with your Mundine Mindset program?
Yeah, Mundine Mindset, we just started that, just before COVID, and then COVID hit, sort of took a back seat for a little bit. But actually, we're sharing my story, my journey through my life, from a young sort of urban, indigenous fella that had dreams, goals and aspirations and dreams that he wanted to achieve from a young age. And obviously go through my story, how I overcome obstacles and maneuvered my way to being and getting everything that I wanted out of my chosen sports, which his first love was rugby league, and then my boxing career after that.
I read you saying once, I almost quote you, that you, Anthony Mundine, you said, I rank education above sporting success as the most important avenue for indigenous news improvement. What a beautiful statement.
Yeah.
My question is, with your MGM Construction Company, how do you make this kind of a vision possible?
I teamed up with a good friend of mine that I've known for 30 odd years, maybe more. Josh Durher, he's a good man. I've known him for a long time, so I know he's very trustworthy and very passionate, especially about the Aboriginal plight and giving back to the people, especially the traditional owners of the land. Mm-hmm. And when he came to me in 2016 about starting this journey with the Aboriginal business, construction business, to sort of pave the way for the next sort of generation, I said, I'm all in, but I want to make change. I want to, obviously inspire, create opportunities and pathways for my people. Mm-hmm. And thank God we're doing that, with MGM, and we're ticking every box. So just going to get bigger and bigger. It's like a snowball effect. It'll just get bigger and bigger, and hopefully we can start to have Aboriginal workers for us as far as within the business, and try and keep it as back as we can.
Beautiful. And I read that you giving to community by visiting prisons.
Oh yeah, I've been doing that for years. I've been visiting prisons, visiting communities for years.
Incredible. So tell me about it, because so many people don't know.
That inspires me. That sort of motivates me and sort of fuels my motivation to know that my success is not just for me, it's for a whole people, you know what I mean? And that's why that Denny Green fight was so important. I had to whip him. I had to whip him. and I made sure I did.
Okay. You mentioned Danny Green, your old rival. Where are you with him today?
No, we're pretty cool. You know, he knows, and the rest of the nation knows. I beat him 2-0.
Yes.
It's 2-0. He got the second fight on default. You know, and, I thought they cheated me a bit, but it is what it is. If he wants to do the third, I mean, we're a bit older now, but I'm sure I can still take it to him.
So do you think there is any chance of any rematch?
I don't think he wants it, to be honest. I'll do it, and I'll prove it. This next time I'll knock him out. I'll stop him, but he don't want to do it.
Oh, because when you say it, of course.
No,
yeah?
I just think he doesn't, because he's happy to get a decision that rightfully shouldn't have been his, but he's happy to live with that. And he's sort of content with that.
I will do a quote that he did in 2017 because it leads me to something. He said, "We have had a hell of a rivalry. Chalk is chalk. I am me. And there are people who don't like chalk and people who don't like me. And that's what makes the fight exciting." Danny Green, 2017. This is now a blunt question to you.
Yeah.
When you fight somebody, is it better when you don't like the person?
It is better. I mean, the rivalry is better.
Yes.
But the fight wasn't so successful, and the biggest pay-per-view in Australia's history, it wasn't because I didn't like him, he didn't like me.
Yes.
It was a black thing and a white thing. You know what I mean? He represented the system and the white sort of press. I represent the people, the grassroots. You know, white, black or brown, brindle, doesn't matter what you are. I represented the people. And that was what made it so big, the sort of colour factor, you know what I mean?
But if you would have to fight somebody that you really like and knock sausages out of him, how difficult has it to be?
It would be very difficult. I don't think I could do that. So, luckily,
Yeah.
I never in my career, I never really fought someone that I really
liked.
Yeah.
Yes, you can like them afterwards.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I respected all the fighters I fought, but I never really was, good mates with one of them.
Anthony, going back to before you became a world champion and sporting champion, little bit back to Anthony being a young boy, because you mentioned how you're sharing your journey, your dreams, your growing up. Tell me a little bit about young Anthony.
The young Anthony, I was from a very young age. I was very determined as a kid. I started playing rugby league when I was 4 years old, and I, obviously fell in love with it. And I was good at it. I was scoring 4, 5, 6 tries a game.
Yes.
When I was young. Then I obviously played all the junior representative, all the representative in the juniors, state teams, Australian schoolboys, Australian junior kangaroos. So I picked up. I was a gun junior, and then I went on to the seniors. Then I started blitzing it in the seniors. But from a young age, I knew that I had the talent in football, which I was wanted to play for my country, and I knew that I had bloodlines of a fighter, and I knew in the back of my mind I want to do some fighting one day, and I knew from a young age I was going to be champion of the world. I don't know,
Really?
It just was embedded in my brain from a young age, and what made me, I was embedded in my psyche from a young age. Not to drink, not to smoke, not to do drugs, because my dad used to take me down King's Cross when it was a pretty bad place back in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. And we'd go down there and then we would conversate with the guys that are battling alcoholism or battling drugs.
Wow.
And they share their stories with us, with my mum and dad. And they used to always tell me, don't ever take drugs, don't ever do this, don't ever do that. So from a young age, that was stuck to my mind.
You just answered my next question. Thank you. I'm a very relaxed interviewer. Amazing.
Yeah, so it's stuck in my mind. From that day, that day forth, I never I vowed I'd never drink or never smoke. But I had one slip up.
And?
When I was 21.
And?
I was just turned 21. Everyone knows how when you're 21,
Yes.
It's a big thing,
Yes.
So I thought, I've never been drunk, I've never taken drugs, I've never done nothing. I'll have a few drinks, see what everybody's raving on about. You know
Exactly.
What I mean? So I went to order a couple of drinks at the bar at a club. And one of my mates who I grew up with in the teenagehood, He goes, what are you doing, Chop? I said, I'll just have a couple of drinks. He goes, if you drink now, you're going to drink again. You drink now, you'll drink again. You won't stop here. And I thought about it, and I said, all right, well, I'm not going to drink. Then I told the lady, no, don't worry about the drinks, give me some waters or whatever, some soda. And then from that moment, I knew I was never going to drink in my life.
Incredible, most incredibly strong willpower you have.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm a different beast. I'm cut from a different cloth as far as mentally. You know what I mean? My mental sort of state of mind is second to none. And I'm so strong. I'm a wolf. I'm a wolf and a lion in the jungle. You know what I mean? A lot of people that are followers and follow what their friends do, they're sheep. They follow the herd. You know, they get led astray. You know what I mean? But I tried to, with my Mundine mindset programs, try to install the mindset of a lion and a wolf, so you can lead your own.
And you
success.
think you can translate it to other people? Do you think?
Of course.
You can?
I know. I've done it. I've seen results.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But you were born like this. You were born.
I was lucky. I was born.
Yes.
Like with that.
Yes.
With that gift.
Incredible. Tell me about your name, Chalk, because we mentioned chalk. How did it come about?
Well, I was a young baby, toddler, and I was about 6 months old. And my dad's mother, my nan, Anthony Mundine, she was obviously dark-skinned lady, and I was, you know, I'm a super dark, but I'm brown skinned.
Yes.
And so every time she see me, she'd come in my chocolate baby, and she used to feed me chocolates, and I used to put all the chocolate in my face. So come in my chocolate baby, and then it stuck to me.
Is your grandma still alive?
Nah, she passed away when I was
passed
about
away.
5. Yeah.
Oh, but you were close to her. Well, you
Yeah,
still
yeah,
remember.
because, yeah.
And what a name, legacy she left for you as a big Chalk. Chalk, Anthony, may I ask you another thing? What do you think we can do today in society to improve the racism and resentment that is, do you think is still prevalent in sports world?
I think racism's always going to be here. It's just a part of human sort of psychic, and you know the way the infrastructure is built on the system through government and stuff, and what the older generation teaches the younger generation, especially from those in the 60s and 50s. You know, teaching their kids and then someone and someone. It's a knock-on effect. I really feel it's an education thing at schools. You got to start teaching the truth. You know, Captain Cook didn't discover Australia. You know what I mean? You didn't come in and discover Australia like no one was here.
Yeah.
But teach the truth. Teach the kids the truth.
Yeah.
This is what happened. You know, because the truth is like a rock. You throw it into a pack of dogs, and the one that it'll hit barks the loudest. So, I mean, it's going to hit get a lot of people's noses out of place, but the truth hits hard. You know what I mean? So you got to start teaching the truth in the school system, and I think educate on the history and the trauma of the past.
Beautiful. This is so true and so important what you say.
Because then people will have a lot more understanding and
appreciation.
Yeah,
yes.
appreciation
Yes.
of the traditional
Values
owners.
and
the
values.
Values as well.
Talking about values, talking about truth, fake news became reality.
Yeah.
Media has not always been kind to you.
Yeah.
Media is can be very manipulative.
But only because I stand for what I stand for. I was confident. That's how I was a loudmouth. I'm arrogant.
Yeah.
I'm not arrogant. I'm down to earth, like day to day. I'm just a brother that's chasing his dream and achieve what he wants to achieve. But they want to perceive me in this light because they're afraid of me. You know what I mean? As far as making an impact on the youth.
Yes. Talking about willpower, talking about you being champion, talking about when you played rugby, what made you switch then from rugby to boxing?
Well, if you know the history of my career in rugby league, I was the best. When I left the game, I was the best player in the world.
That's why I'm asking.
The best player in the world.
Why do you
the highest paid. because my goal was to play for my national team, which is the Australian Kangaroos and national team. My adversaries, Laurie Daly, Laurie Daly and Brad Fittler, who played in my positions, like 5'8", what I played, they'd always get picked.
And then, why did you decide?
Because one year they pick an Anzac test match. So pick a national test match on Anzac Day, and Laurie Daly and Brad Fittler were out for injury. So everybody thought I was going to be the one. So this is my chance, this is my time to shine.
Yes.
And then they read out the team, and I didn't get picked again. So from that moment, I jumped on a plane and left. I just had to get out of here because I was disillusioned with the game. It was making me hate the politics, because the year before, 99, I was the best player in the world as far as my position. They took a tour to England, a 42-man tour, so more than two footy teams, nearly 3 football teams. And I didn't even get on that.
Yes.
And I was gonna retire then, but I thought, no, I'll try one more time. So the next year came, and then the Anzac test, Daly wasn't there, Philly wasn't there, and they still didn't pick me. So I left, went overseas, had to take time out, have a look outside the box and look about where I was at. So I come back to Sydney and I said, I'm retiring, I'm going to chase my dream of becoming a world champion, and nobody believed me. They thought I'd be back in a year or two. It was supposed to be a part-time gig. I won 3 world titles, alhamdulillah.
Where is the next world championship going now? Anthony.
The next world championship is coming in MGM and Mundine mindset.
Wonderful. And Moses Bank Man of the Year, showing everybody how to do it. Anthony, of course, everybody remembers and knows you converted to Islam.
Yeah.
You're a very proud Muslim.
Yeah.
What made you do it, and how did it change your outlook on maybe did it or not?
Yeah, of course.
I'm literally curious myself.
It's impacted me in a very positive way, especially back then. I wanted to get close to God. You know what I mean? I wanted to get close to the Creator of the heavens and the earth, and show my appreciation, show my love, show my, thank Him and whatnot. So I started, because Aboriginals, we were colonised and taught the white man's beliefs. We were taught the Church of England, Christianity. So I wanted to get close to God. I wanted to find out what do they believe? What is their core sort of foundation? So then I started to research Aboriginal culture, Aboriginal beliefs within the culture of their belief, traditional beliefs, and I find that the Aboriginal people believed in the one power, the one God. So that sort of married up. Because us as Muslims, we're a big believer in Jesus. Like, He's one of the mightiest men of God, but we believe He's a prophet of God. He's a Messiah. He's a messenger. So I started to delve into Jesus' actual life and the historical Jesus. And you find that Jesus, like I said, He prayed to God. Just how He prayed. You know how He prayed?
How?
With His forehead to the ground. Who prays like that besides Jesus? The Muslims.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I find out all the little things. Jesus asked God for help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't know the last hour. Someone knows the last hour. When obviously the end of time will come. No one knows the last hour, only the Father.
Yes.
So He always referred to the Father.
Yes.
And I feel like God, the Creator of the heavens and the earth and everything in it, and all the animals and everything, He can't be like us. Like, God's almighty, all-powerful. You know what I mean? And that's what we believe as Muslims. Alhamdulillah.
Anthony, I give my guests, metaphorically speaking, at the end of my interview, a magic wand. Now I'm giving you a magic wand, and you have 2 wishes. One for the world and one for yourself. What would be your wish for the world?
My wish for the world would be everybody sort of get on. You know what I mean? Stop like the money-hungry elites of today. and what they're doing to the world right now. I think people know where I'm talking about this, what I'm talking about, and what's happening with the world right now in the current state. It's sad to see because the elites are greedy and they want the world to themselves.
Yeah.
And we gotta love, we gotta share, we gotta uplift together. And you can't do that when you have a certain evil that want everything. You know what I mean?
It's a greed for power.
It's a greed for power.
Yes.
And it's sad. You know, that's what starts wars. That's what starts. You know, that's why a lot of the times other countries go into other countries to get their resources, to get the oil or the you know what I mean, the power.
Ukraine now,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sad, man. So I believe we got to stop the wars, live in peace, live in harmony, and live to learn and love each other as a people. You know what I mean? For myself, I'm content in my life because of Islam. I'm content in my life that I pray 5 times a day. You know what I mean?
You do.
So I'm constantly reminded why I'm here, and that's to worship the King, the Creator of the heavens and the earth, and hopefully He just forgive me for my sins. Because I'm not a good boy. You know, sometimes I'm a bad boy too, but I try to always turn back to my Lord and ask Him for forgiveness.
Beautiful. Anthony, such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being on my show and for all beautiful work you're doing to help other people to make better life. Yes. Do you think that with all the enormous amount of violence in the world, everybody should have a basic skills of boxing for self-defense?
Oh, definitely. It's a sad sort of state, like I said, the world's in at the moment, and it's sort of dog-eat-dog world at the moment, you know what I mean? There's still good people in the world, but
you're looking at one.
They're starting to get outnumbered by the not-so-good people.
We try to finish on a light note. My team asked me, this is not me, my team asked me to ask you to show me a basic 2 movements of boxing if I want to go and do self-defense class. Anthony, what would be the first move?
Just the first move, make sure you turn your knuckles. So
yes.
if you're jabbing, turn your knuckles there. Turn your knuckle there.
Okay, thank you. Anthony, this is yes. Thank you. Thank you. And now I ask for your autograph on this now world's most precious glove, boxing glove.
Anthony Mundine, the man.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you, darling.
God bless you. Thank you so much for being on my show. And enjoy most inspiring Man of the Year mission for next 12 months and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.